Good afternoon and welcome to VFM's Midday News, brought to you with the kind compliments of Coates St. Vincent Limited.
Live to your own beat at Shack Music Fest at Radio Shack with everyday tech solutions to make your life easier. Live to your own beat at Shack Music Fest at Radio Shack with everyday tech solutions to make your life easier. Save on selected Radio Shack items, two-way speakers, headphones, and more. Get it today and pay later with Ready Finance. Live to your own beat with Shack Music at Radio Shack. Conditions apply. Promotion ends April 24th, 2025.
Welcome back to VFM's Midday News, brought to you with the kind compliments of Coates St. Vincent Limited. First on the local scene, the Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force has announced the funeral service for the late Police Constable 504 Alfred Jacobs will be held on Saturday, April 26, 2025, at the Bayaboo Evangelical Church. Viewing will be from 11:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Service begins at 1 p.m. and the interment will be at the Bayaboo Cemetery. Constable Jacobs passed away on March 11, 2025, in the United Kingdom. In a statement, the authorities said his death has brought deep sorrow to the RSVGPF and all who knew him. They further stated that for over 17 years, he served with honor, humility, and strength. The RSVGPF is inviting the public and members of the policing fraternity to join as they pay final respects to one of their own. The Rose Hall Cultural and Development Organization hosted its annual Rose Hall Cultural Festival on Saturday, April 19, 2025. It drew community members, youth, and cultural leaders together for a day of reflection, celebration, and unity. The day began with a 5-mile heritage walk, retracing the footsteps of African ancestors, early settlers, and enslaved people who once journeyed the historic paths of the Cumberland Road and the Great Trail. Honorable Carlos James, Minister of Culture, commended the Rose Hall Cultural and Development Organization for its commitment to community development and announced continued government support, including upgrades to the facility, the establishment of a local office, and the initiatives to boost farming and employment in the area. The festival concluded with food booths featuring local cuisine, drumming performances, and a cultural showcase. As the Rose Hall Cultural and Development Organization celebrates its 18th anniversary, its mission remains clear: to honor the past, enrich the present, and inspire the future through heritage, creativity, and community collaboration. Still on the local scene, Honorable Suberta Caesar, Minister of Agriculture, said SVG, along with other OECS member states, are working together on a collective approach to deal with the continued accumulation of the sargassum seaweed. On Monday, April 21st, several locations around the country, such as the waterfront at the Kingston Cruise Terminal and the Oria Fisheries Center, were covered with seaweed, creating difficulties for fishers and tourism stakeholders. In an interview with the API yesterday, the Agriculture Minister said the ministry will continue to work with fisherfolk along with the tourism stakeholders, and the issue will also be discussed at cabinet level. Minister Caesar took the opportunity to advise farmers not to use the seaweed as fertilizer or mulch. He said studies have indicated the presence of heavy metals which can be harmful, and advised farmers to wait until a comprehensive study on the seaweed is completed. Chief Fisheries Officer Jennifer Cruikshank Howard said the sargassum has been affecting the country since 2011, with Monday's influx being the largest amount to date. On to news in the region. A Potter's resident is fighting for his life after being sprayed with a hazardous substance in what appears to be a targeted attack early Sunday morning. According to a statement from the Royal Police Force of Antigua and Barbuda, Josh Charles, 31 years old, suffered extensive injuries when an unidentified assailant sprayed him with a caustic substance around 12:30 a.m. on April 20th, 2025. The incident occurred as Charles was walking along Bowling Road in Potter's Extension. The attack left him with severe injuries to his face, eyes, chest, back, arms, and legs. He was rushed to Sir Leicester Bird Medical Center, where he remains in critical condition as medical personnel work to treat his extensive chemical burns. The authorities have launched an investigation into the attack and appeal to anyone with information to come forward. The Bahamas police are investigating what appears to be a suicide attempt after a 19-year-old female was discovered in bushes with multiple injuries on Monday afternoon. According to authorities, officers responded to information received and found the young woman in a vegetated area near Bethel Avenue shortly after 2:30 p.m. on April 21, 2025, Loop News reports. Preliminary reports indicate that the woman had visible injuries throughout her body. She was also unable to communicate with responding officers. Emergency medical services were called to the scene and she was transported to the hospital for urgent and medical attention and further evaluation. Her current condition remains unknown. On to news in the region. Opening statements are set to begin today in Hollywood film producer Harvey Weinstein's retrial in New York for alleged sex crimes. In his third trial in 5 years, Weinstein is accused of sexually abusing a former television production assistant, an aspiring actress, and an unnamed woman. The former film mogul has pled not guilty. The Court of Appeals overturned his previous conviction for sex crimes in New York last April, before he was indicted on new sexual assault charges in September. Weinstein has been serving a 23-year sentence in a New York prison after being convicted in 2020. In total, he has been accused of sexual misconduct, assault, and rape by over 100 women. He is likely to spend the rest of his life in prison, as he has yet to begin serving his 16-year California sentence. Finally, in sports, former Australia batter Keith Stockpole has died at the age of 84. The right-handed opener from Victoria played 43 tests between 1966 and 1974, scoring 2,807 runs at an average of 37.42, including 7 centuries. Stockpole also played in the first ever one-day international against England at the Melbourne Cricket Ground in 1971. He went on to be the top scorer in 1972 Ashes series, where he was Ian Chappell's vice-captain, and later became a television and radio commentator. He was also one of the 5 Wisden Cricketers of the Year in 1973 and was awarded the MBE in 1974 for services to cricket. This has been WFM's Midday News. I have been your presenter, Shaniqua Stapleton. Join us again at 3 o'clock for WFM's 3 p.m. news. WFM's Midday News came to you with the kind compliments of Courts St. Vincent Limited.
Looking for the right pair of frames to make you look glamorous? Come to Quartz Optical. You'll find a Looking for the right pair of frames to make you look glamorous? Come to Quartz Optical. You'll find a wide selection of stylish frames from Prada, Ray-Ban, Armani, Converse, Vogue, plus new arrivals for you to choose from. Get up to 30% off lens and frames, 15% off cash purchases $999 and over. Plus, you can book your eye examination appointment online today at quartzoptical.com. Wear it today and pay later with Quartz Ready Finance. Quartz Optical, value you can see. Offer ends April 24th, 2025. Special conditions apply.
Lynch Caribbean Brokers is here to